as you know, the full moon is right around the corner. So we're going to talk about the triple moon goddess, Hecate, and my experiences with her. So I've always been a sensitive soul way back. When I was a kid, I always felt like I had some type of angel deity that was around me at all times watching over me. I don't know, I just always had this knowing. Like psychic gifts and intuition, like when I was a kid, was like very strong. So I always felt like I had some type of someone watching over me. So I've had channel messages. I have like playing outside. I knocked myself out before, and I always heard like a voice calling to me. And it's always been like a soft woman's voice. So that's why I always felt like there was someone watching over me. There was a woman. Like I always had this knowing. Like something would happen and like the right person is there at the right time. Like things would like always work in my favor somehow, some way. So I always felt like somebody or someone was watching over me. I just didn't know who. So let's fast forward to, I got it wrote down. Matter of fact, the beginning of September of last year, the 1st, I felt this very strong, heavy energy. Like I couldn't put my finger on it. Like it was just a strong, heavy energy. And I believe it was on a full moon. I kept having dreams about the full moon, all types of stuff. Like the moon just kept coming up. So as you know, Hecate, which is so many ways that people pronounce it, is the triple moon goddess. There's two other goddesses, Demeter, excuse my language if I get it wrong, pronounce them wrong, and Persephone. Y'all can check that out, but this is about Hecate. So I want to say September 28th, I had a dream. And a lot of my dreams are lucid, or if you see my last video, it was a lot of astral travel stuff. So I was in this dream and this goddess popped up like out of nowhere. And it's like the energy was like so comforting. It was just like a really strong, high vibration. Like I've never felt that before. So like she popped up, and me not knowing, like I didn't know who she was at the time. I just seen she had a whole bunch of symbolism on her. Like she had pinnacles like all over her. Like she had a necklace that was a pinnacle. She had like beads, wristbands. Like she was like covered in these pinnacles. So I knew she had to been some type of ascended master. I just didn't know who she was. But she was dressed in like this gold, yellowish, like that's what I'm building my altar in. It's like she was dressed in like that color right there. And she like during the time, like she had my hands and she was basically like telling me like, believe in yourself. And it's just like as she's telling me these things, it's like we're communicating. Like she's sending thoughts to my head and I'm sending thoughts to her head, and it's just like we're both communicating. And like the things that she said was like, she was like, believe in yourself. And like her story, what she was telling me, like basically like her story isn't told the correct way, or is not told right. Like I guess a lot of people lean to the dark side of that, or they say a lot of like, or they say like certain bad things about her. But basically she put it in my hands to figure that out, to figure out if I want to work with her. But basically she made it seem like, you know, her history is not fully told right. So just by that alone, I just felt like, you know, it was like a mutual thing. You know, as a spiritual person, you know, it's things said about you, you know, behind your back, and you know, so it was just a mutual thing. It was just like, I understand that, but it's like as she's saying these and projecting these things to me, it's like in my head, I'm saying like I know you was a woman. Like like that's one thing that I remember. I remember myself continue to say like I know you was a woman. Like I know you was a woman. So I'm guessing like this is who's been like watching over me for the longest. So the meeting was like really quick. Like she said that, and then after that, like I woke up. But I mean, like when you dream, even in lucid dreams, like you don't remember like what somebody had on, the symbolism, like, and the energy, like I never felt that energy before, and I just seen 555. uh, like the energy, like I never felt that energy before. Like it was calming, nurturing, all that, and like I never met a goddess before, but like she was like really beautiful. I was just like, okay. So I woke up and you know, I wrote. I'm just like, I'm my head is like all over the place because I never had that experience before. So I hit up one of my homeboys and I was just like, yo, like I had like this ascended master come to my dream, and she was just like telling me stuff, and I was basically like filling him on the details on like what I seen and what I felt. And the first thing he was just like, well, you know, hit this person up, 'cause it might be Hecate. So I was just like, okay. So me being me, a curious soul, you know, and a hunger for wisdom. So I did my research. You know, I dived in, you know, the triple moon goddess and all this stuff. And what's crazy is, y'all probably can't see it in the video. I have a triple moon, uh, it's like, I have this triple moon thing that I have hanging from the ceiling. And it's just like, way before she contacted me, like my intuition just guided me to this thing. It's a triple moon thing with lupus lazuli stones on them, and I was just like guided to it. So as I'm doing my research, I see the question. Like I see the moon, I see the triple moon. I'm just like, yo, what are the odds of me getting that symbol and hanging it up, and then all of a sudden she contacts me? Like it just went hand in hand. Like working with Hecate, it's been like crazy amazing, man. Like, bro. So he tells me to link up with one of his friends, and I guess the thing was she was trying to tell me like everybody works with her differently. So she was just like basically like telling me like to choose my path and basically do my research. So I did my research, and like I said, everybody works with her differently. So I find out it's Hecate. So like it's just like I'm at work and like the name is just like running through my head. Mind you, it's like October now. And like her name is just like going through my head, just like going through my head. It's just like some reason like I couldn't get the name out of my head. And like during this time, I'm still seeing, you know, 555. I'm still seeing angel numbers, 333. I'm seeing moons, I'm seeing full moons, I'm seeing I'm seeing like all these symbolisms. Like it's just like I was just like, yo, what the heck is going on now? For some reason I could not get her name out of my head. So one day I pull up to this store that I'm finna service, and on the back of this somebody's car, they had the pinnacle, and I can't remember exactly what it said, but it felt like it was referring back to Hecate. So I was just like, okay, like I'm gonna work with it, because it's just like at this point it's just like she's definitely communicating with me. So it's just like, let me go and get my stuff together. So even then, like I was still like doing my research, still skeptical. But one day I decided to go to the mall I was supposed to pick up a bag, and the bag wasn't there. So like before I get to the mall, like my favorite place is Earthbound. That's where I get a lot of my stuff from. So I already have in my head like I'm not going into Earthbound. Like I always buy so much stuff up in there. Like that's like my spiritual place. Like I'm always buying stuff up in there. I'm just like, nah, I'm not going up in there. Like I don't care what it is. I'm not going in there. So I go and get the bag. The bag is not there. So I'm just like, bro, like why the heck am I all the way up here for no reason? So all of a sudden, like my intuition is just like, go inside Earthbound. You know, I'm fighting my intuition. I'm just like, no, I just told myself I'm not going in there. And something was just like, look, just go inside of Earthbound. So I go inside of Earthbound and they have a new shipment. So I'm just like, okay. So, you know, I'm just looking around. All of a sudden, I come across this book right here. So something said, pick up the book and look for Hecate. Crazy enough, Hecate is in the book. So like at this point, like I'm completely mind blown. Like, what in the world? Like I had never had this type of experience before. Like, what in the world? Like she's in the book, but like what's also crazy, it's October 5th. And like in the book, that goddess book, like they have like a bunch of different goddesses and stuff inside there, and they have like different like months when you can provoke them and all that. And that final day to provoke, which you can provoke these goddesses and gods at any time. Just be safe and understand what you're doing before you do this stuff. Like just because you watch the craft one time don't mean you be out here just provoking these guys, especially if you're not willing to put in the work. Like this is really, really serious stuff. So the last day to provoke her was, I want to say October 5th. And that day that I picked up that book and I was in the mall was October 5th. So I was just like, yo, like the synchronicity is crazy. Like, do you know the odds of all this happening? I was just like, yo, like I'm mind blown. So like I just made up my mind to go get the stuff that I need to provoke her. Like, you know, she's the goddess of the crossroads, you know, the underworld and, you know, the heavens. So she's like between life and death. You know what I'm saying? So as I'm in the mall, like getting the ingredients and like all the stuff that I need, look at the time is 5:55. So I'm just like, yo, like the synchronicity on that day was like super duper crazy. So, you know, I think like I think everybody has a different way to like provoke Hecate. Like I did it by the book. The book told me to do it that way, and that's the way I did it. Found some crossroads, and you know what I'm saying? Like I did my ritual. But the crazy thing is, like, as I did like the ritual, it's just like the moon was out for one. And as I'm walking like to the crossroad, like I kid you not, like I'm walking with my girl and I'm just like, man, like I see a cat. Like I see like a figure of a cat. Like the cat is not actually there, but I see like a figure of a cat. And I'm just like, bro, like I know I'm not going crazy. And like me knowing that I work with the goddess Beset, like I was just like, I see a cat. Like I'm just like, bro, like I know I see this cat. And my girl's like, what are you talking about? Like she not seen it, but I was like, bro, like, I know I see this cat, but I feel like it was like I felt like the cat was just like watching over me and guiding me as, you know, I did my ritual. So like I did the ritual and we go back to the apartment and tell me why it's a cat sitting in front of the apartment. And my girl was just like, well, that's the cat that you've seen. I was just like, bro, like I know I'm not crazy. I see a cat. And now all of a sudden we come back after the ritual, like a cat is sitting like in front of our door. So I'm just like, yo, that's crazy. So like when you do everything correct as far as like provoking Hecate, it's like you'll hear like hounds or dogs barking. You'll see keys, you'll see doors, you'll see snakes. It's so many things, and like the thing that I like the most about working with Hecate is like she's upfront. Like she's gonna make sure that you put the work in. But like she's upfront, like she's going to show you signs, she's going to show you synchronicities when you put in that work. Like she's like me, like I'm hands-on upfront, like all that. So that's like one of my reasons that I really like working with her. But like, you know, every full moon, every new moon, I do like my rituals. Like she likes eggs. I do honey buns, mushrooms. Like it's so many things that you can do your research on to find out exactly what she likes. But I do normally do my rituals on the 15th and well, not the 15th, but the new moon and the full moon. I'm trying to think what else. Like and then I had a second encounter with her. It was boom December 14th. So this day I know I was astral traveling because I was asleep, I was in my body, I opened my eyes, and you know, your spirit leaves out your body. So in this dream I felt like I had like traveled to the future. But like the crazy thing is, like before I went to sleep, is like I set my intentions that I wanted to meet Hecate again. So like during the dream happened, I'm you know what I'm saying, like I'm getting my knowledge, and it's like I'm trying to get as much knowledge as I can, because it's like once I call my spirit back to my body, it's like I want to be able to write everything down. There's one thing that you want to keep a journal. So all of a sudden, like I had to understand, once you get to like this 40, 50 universe, like the things that you think just instantly pop up. So I was just like, before I went to sleep, my intentions was like I wanted to meet with Hecate again. So as soon as I had that thought in my head, it happened. Boom, she popped up. And it's crazy because like she's really funny. Like she was going off on me. Like when she popped up, she was just like, look, you got my hair wrong. And it's like she was like going off on me, but it was like in a funny way. Because like when I first seen it, it was like I don't remember exactly, you know, her whole features. Like I thought like her hair was like orange or something like that. She's like, my hair is not orange, it's dark black. And it's crazy that I read up on it, like her hair is dark black. So it's like, I know I'm not crazy. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I've met a goddess. So like at that point, like she's going off and I'm just like blown. Like she popped up. Like I'm just like out of my mind, like blown. Like she popped up again. So at this point, like I just like hug her to get her to stop, like cause she like going off on me. So I just hug her. And like I said, like that energy, it was just like, it's like a nurturing, like strong, very high vibration energy. So it's like, as I do that, like she's, you know what I'm saying, like giving me knowledge and stuff. And then like, that's when like I feel myself pulling my body back. Like I got my messages, now it's time to wake up. So as soon as I wake up, like I'm up, I'm like, oh shoot, like I did it. So like I go to my journal, I just instantly start journaling, you know, everything. But Hecate has been like from day one for me, like provoking her spirit. Like she is like really opened up doors, set up opportunities, move things out the way. Like I feel like it's a long lost best friend type of situation. Like I feel like all the messages and stuff that I've been getting was like from her. Like I heard like when I was doing my routes and I used to fall asleep driving and stuff, and I used to wake up and, you know, not knowing how the heck I got there, I used to hear like messages like saying like pioneer, be strong, like all types of stuff. And I felt like those messages was coming from her. Like still to this day, like even before I was gonna do this video, I seen the pinnacle. Like when I had it in my head, like I'm gonna do a video like dedicated straight just to her. Like I seen the pinnacle and I seen the it was a dog or a wolf, one of the two. I was just like, okay, bet I'm gonna go ahead and knock this video out. But like I said, do y'all research. Like the first thing people would say, like, oh, it's evil, this and that and the fourth. Like, bro, like, do y'all research, man. Stop listening to everybody. Spirituality is not evil. Think for yourselves. But like I said, man, Hecate has been like really, really dope to work with as a goddess. And to know that a goddess, I'm saying, like, revealed herself to me is like, it's a really, really dope experience. Like, connect with your guides, connect with your angels, connect with your ancestors. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's the reason why I'm able to channel messages. That's the reason why I feel like I'm able to connect with the ascended or the deceased or the passed on loved ones. Understand, when you travel between these worlds, you're traveling between life and death. So it's like when you come back to Earth, you're doing the same thing. When you come back to this 3D, it's like you do the same thing. So it's just like holding on to connection with people. You understand, people come and go. It's part of life. And as you do your research with the triple moon, like, you will understand that, like, there can be no life without death, and there cannot be death without life. You know what I'm saying? So, like, do your research, and shouts out to the Hecate. Deuce.